Hey guys, welcome back. Every now and then I post something on Instagram or here on YouTube that gets a really immediate reaction. And that's exactly what happened when I posted up my Tanuki Red Cast Jacket. Tanuki, which I believe is how you say that. A lot of people like to correct my pronunciation of non-English words.
Tanuki.
All right, so it is Tanuki. So anyway, when I posted this picture on Instagram, a lot of people were asking, that thing looks amazing. Where can I get it? Who makes it? But the reaction here on YouTube was a little bit different. A lot of people were saying that looks itchy. It looks, just uncomfortable. Why would I get that versus Levi's? And I think part of it was because of the photo that I took. It made it look a little bit more textured and uncomfortable than it actually is. But I gotta tell you, I think that kind of response is actually one of the greatest compliments you can get. I would rather that people were very polarized one way or the other, rather than just like, oh, another denim jacket, eh. You want people to have a strong reaction, whether it's good or bad. Sort of like the same way that people did when I got my nail shanks. A lot of people were like, those are the ugliest boots I've ever seen. And then there were some people who were like, I'll sell a body part to get a pair of these. Hopefully Tanuki agrees. Now let's do this exercise so it can frame up this jacket a little bit better, all right? Just don't close your eyes because you're watching the video, but just imagine in your mind for a second the perfect denim jacket, okay? And this can be different for everybody, but I can tell you at least what I want, all right? And this isn't exactly what the Tanuki is, that would be cheesy, but I would want something that was a little bit on the heavier side, under 20 ounces, with a denim that was not in your face crazy, like sometimes you see Naked and Famous does their like really, really neppy denim, which it almost looks like you were out in the snow for a little while or something. I would want something that was interesting, but not too in your face. So, you're walking around and people who don't know would just think, hey, that's a nice looking denim jacket. But I would also want it to have interest and cool little things that you don't see everywhere, like really high quality little details. And I think that most importantly, because finding a good denim jacket that fits well has always been a struggle for me, I'd want it to be full, you know what I mean? Like, so a lot of times, like I've tried on Levi's Type 3 trucker jackets, they're just too tight in the arms. They're just not meant for somebody of my build. A lot of times these are meant for people who are a little bit smaller, So if you're kind of like a beefier, husky guy like me, it can be hard to find one that looks good. So those would be the things. I would want it to be high quality, low key, and fit well with some really interesting, neat details that you don't just find anywhere. The Red Cast Jacket ticked all those boxes and then some. Now, the best way to think of Tanuki, in my opinion, is like they're fabric artisans who also happen to make clothing. The real appeal of this jacket is its fabric, so allow me to elaborate just a little bit on that. This is so far from a mass-produced denim that honestly, they shouldn't even be called the same thing. Tanuki starts with a thick Texas cotton slub yarn for the warp, and now this is a really hard-wearing rough yarn, which is kind of offset by the weft, being Australian cotton that's straight and thin and almost like silk. This is where my version of the Red Cast Jacket differs from the first 2017 original run in that my version has a light gray weft while the original was beige. Now, sadly, the wildfires in Australia have had devastating effects on everything, including the supply of cotton. All of that craziness is woven into a beautiful 16.5 ounce Unsanforized denim. Now, if you don't know the difference between Sanforized and Unsanforized denim, let me just kind of touch on that for a quick second. Unsanforized denim is sort of the way it comes off the mill. There's such a thing called loom stake, without getting too in the weeds. What you usually get from like a department store, Levi's, run-of-the-mill kind of stuff, is Sanforized. It's actually put through a process to eliminate shrinkage. That same process, though, tends to burn off a lot of the stuff that makes denim really cool, like the little hairs and textures that you get on the top, the little tiny neps that you'll see in this. It's just very, very detailed and intricate. A lot of times you'll end up with a really flat-looking denim, which is what a lot of people like. However, this, an Unsanforized denim just has infinitely more character and almost like a 3D quality to it. The red cast, from which this jacket gets its name, is due to a chemically purer indigo dye, which oxidizes more easily. Now, this comes across not as red, but as more of a purple tone. Red against blue makes purple, and it'll shift and change with wear and fading. Now, without getting too nerdy about it, this is just another part of the intricacy of the fabric, which is front and center on this jacket. In fact, it feels like the design itself is merely a vehicle to show off the artisanal fabric. Now that fabric wouldn't mean much if it was woven into a horribly ugly garment, but luckily it's not. This is a nicely full fit jacket, but it's also not like workwear full fit either. So it's not like really, really boxy, but it's not super slim either. I would call it more of an athletic cut because when you do button it up, it's nice against your skin. It feels good. There's room for layering, at least for me. And this is going to differ for everybody. But as you can see, I have no issues bending my arms. I could do the hug test without a problem. You know, this is what really has always bothered me. And one of the reasons that I've steered away from denim jackets in general is that they're just so damn slim. Thankfully, the fit is a little bit more forgiving for guys like me. The jacket features hand warmer pockets and some very cool angled chest pocket flaps. And it may just look like a really nice Type 3 jacket from a distance until you get a little bit closer. The 6-button closure is a good balance, and those buttons are custom made from copper with the Tanuki animal imprinted on it. Now, a Tanuki is a Japanese raccoon dog and is quite significant in Japanese folklore. It's a really cool mascot, and the stylized version that's cut in relief onto these buttons looks beautiful. The sleeve buttonholes are stitched with red thread, reminding me a lot of custom suits back in the day where a uniquely colored sleeve buttonhole was an indication of a bespoke garment. Again, little details that make up something very special. Speaking of thread, you could actually find several different thread colors and diameters throughout this jacket. Some of them are designed to stand out, while others are meant to blend in. Now, sure, it would have been easier to stitch the entire piece with just one color, and that's what you'll find on a lot of mass-produced jackets. But then again, that's just not what this jacket is about. Inside, you have 2 pockets kind of designed into the hand warmer pocket bags. And as you'd expect, they're not just plain old cotton either. Now, these are thicker than you'd expect, and they feature a very subtle herringbone pattern. Along the back, there's a beautiful veg tan deerskin patch, and the only branding visible on the outside is a tiny red and white embroidered Tanuki Nai logo representing the number 2, with the lower line representing the past, tradition, the standard, and peace, while the upper line represents future, change, and strength. The red and white colors honor their Japanese roots, being the color of the Japanese flag. And if you got all that from looking at those 2 little lines, you're a heck of a lot better than me because I had to look it up. And finally, there's the price, which is in line with most premium Japanese denim brands at $425. Not cheap. But if affordability is what you're after, then you're likely not watching this video. You can't get this equivalent without paying for it. Regardless, I know some people will comment, "That's crazy, I'll just buy a Levi's for $100. You are more than welcome to do that. And in that spirit, I want to take a minute at the end of this video to speak a little bit about priorities, all right? And that is, I've romanticized this jacket throughout this video, right? I've talked about the incredible fabric, the details, the fit, and really made it seem appealing, I would imagine. And it's really easy for me to just talk at length about stuff like this that I really like because I'm genuinely enthused about it. But if you have to give up on experiences in order to afford a jacket like this, it doesn't even have to be this one, that's not worth it, okay? And I know this is probably not what you're used to hearing in a video that's kind of, in a way, promoting a product, right? But really, if you have to give up experiences and spending time with loved ones, going out to a dinner or going to an event with friends or something like that, don't, all right? This stuff, all this clothing, all these products that I feature on this video, on this channel, they don't mean a damn thing unless you live life in them, all right? I mean, like, really, if you were to save all your pennies and buy the dream wardrobe that, you could just imagine, right? Like, it doesn't mean a damn thing if you don't actually go out and use it. If you're not spending time in those garments doing the stuff that you love. So if what you enjoy doing is going out to dinner with your family or friends, and you can't do that because you spent it on clothing, I don't think that's a good trade-off. So, the people who say, I could just spend $100 on a Levi's jacket, maybe that's the better move for you. That might be, okay? You kind of have to be, a bit of a nerd to really like this kind of stuff, to appreciate the stuff that goes into a jacket like this. After all, in its mere utility, it's only a jacket, right? It's supposed to keep you protected and covered from the outdoors and warm, So just, remember to keep your priorities in order. I can guarantee you this, all right? If you do go out and you're having fun with people that you care about and you're enjoying yourself, years from then, you will not remember what you were wearing. But you will remember the time that you spent with those people, okay? And one of those things is much more difficult to get back. You never know when the last time you're gonna see somebody is. One of the times that you see somebody you love will be the last time. So I don't wanna end it on a somber note. Let's just say this. Whether you spend $400 plus on a beautiful jacket like this, or $10 on a thrift store jacket, you should still live life in them and don't let that hold you back. This thing's incredible. It really is. It's worth saving up, but not at the expense of spending time with the people that you care about. So, weird ending to a video, I know, but sometimes I think that these things need to be touched upon and said. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this thing. It actually is comfortable. It's not itchy or scratchy or any other character from The Simpsons. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time.